Alright guys, here's my 97 Chevy K1500. Today we're gonna fix up the Stepside box, put a custom bed liner in it, do it yourself, and some light body work. As you can see, it's starting to rust a little bit on the inside. And there's a couple of rust spots on the top edge, both sides. There's a spot. You can see a couple little dents too. Here's the Raptor kit I got online on Amazon. I got the kit that came with a spray gun. It was actually $2 cheaper than the kit that came without a spray gun, and you do need a special gun for this because it's so thick. The long tube is what you'll go into your bottle of material, and the short tubes where it shoots out the material. I got the black kit, not the tint kit. Only get the tint kit if you're going to add a custom color. They say to spray to 40-60 psi, and when you open it up you'll see four 32 ounce bottles of the Raptor black material, a mixer cup, and hardener, which is 32 ounces. So if you divide that by 4, you get 8 ounces of hardener will be added to each of those 24 ounce bottles. So that's what the gun looks like put together. There we go. Shot my dad's air compressor. Right now it's set to 80 psi. Spray clear coat. And right now we're adding sand to his sandblaster. What you got in, I think he said late 70s, so it's over 40 years old. Alright, next we're gonna mask off the truck.
Okay.
Because when you sandblast you can damage your glass and other pieces. So right now I'm gonna shut up and let you watch the rest of the video.
The dents are small out there, so we're not going to need much. 50 years, that should be. What you do is you just, on a warm day like today, you just put a strip across here, and you're pretty good. And you shouldn't use cardboard to mix filler because it takes all the good oils out. There's a couple dents we wanted out. Normally I don't put it on that heavy, but I don't want to sand it more than once. Should do. I tell them I just use cheap sandpaper because I sand it a little too early. It's a lot easier.
Is that 40 grit?
40 grit. 36 or 40 works. Rough over this.
What's that, 80 grit?
Yep, 80 grit. Pretty good. Okay, now 4-to-1 ratio, so. Okay.
What's this stuff?
4-to-1.
Primer and hardener, huh?
This is a urethane primer and activator. A cheaper brand. My old dirty primer gun. We don't want to. We don't want to dig into the fiberglass, so that's why we're doing this. If it were metal, we'd have just left it. I'll probably put 3 of them on so it don't dig in. I got to put one more on the other side.
Okay, the second point I wanted to make, the instructions on this product first said to wipe down with a degreaser and then sand the entire box surface. Now on a truck, the hardest surface to sand is the bed. There's so many crooks and crannies. It's a long process. So that's why my dad suggested the sandblaster to save us a ton of time and to have a better bond with the product. Second point I wanted to make, and you'll see this very shortly in the video, is Raptor recommended or told you if you're doing multiple coats to wait an hour between coats before you apply the second coat. What we ended up doing was applying all 4 bottles without any wait time. Now, the key to making that happen, one of the keys was my dad. He's been doing this for 60 years. He's been painting for 60 years, so he knows what he's doing. He can read the signs. Secondly, he never stepped foot in the bed during the second coat. He was able to apply the product from the gravel on the road. Now, we had a higher PSI than they recommended. It was 40 to 60 PSI. We went with 80 PSI, and it looked amazing on the test that we did. And with a slight air leak, it was probably around 75 PSI. Anyway, if you were to step foot in that bed without waiting that hour, you would have footprints in the back. But we never did that, so we shaved off a lot of time doing 2, 3 coats, waiting an hour in between. And when you wait that hour, you're supposed to soak your gun in acetone so the gun isn't chopped. Anyway, we sprayed the whole thing in one go and just threw away the gun at the end and saved a ton of time. It worked amazing.
The dents up here. Got one here and one there. You make a movie, I'll get a thing and blow that out. Just stainless steel.
Never heard of it.
Just keeps the moisture out. Another layer in there.
Is that hole too big for Bondo, right?
Well, no, just this here keeps the moisture from bubbling. Keeps the moisture from bubbling the filler out. Very fine scuff pad, and this stuff should
John
be.
Deere yellow, green, blue, and silver. We gotta finish. These are really cool.
We're making movies, Shane.
Look at these man.
Good enough for the first layer. That's enough for the first layer.
How hard do
whack this high spot. Piece of cake.
Gotta have one more layer on there. Right in the crease, Josh.
Yeah, right in the crease.
Okay, one other point I wanted to make is we masked over the bolts and latches that were on the tailgate, and then we hit them with some black paint
Coat it with something.
afterwards. We didn't want the thick Raptor material to affect the gate latching process. And then second point is some of the bed caulking needed repaired, so we had to cut that out and re-caulk it. And that was on the front, left, and right side, and the bottom of the bed. And last point is the 4 square bed rail stake pocket holes. They're about 1 inch by 2 inch. And there's a little down lip. So when you're spraying the top of the bed rail, that little down lip won't get a good amount of material on it. And don't try to spray that with your Raptor gun, or you're going to get too much material on the bed rail itself and it'll gum up. So I would just get some of that material on a paintbrush and get that little down lip.
Okay.
What did it say? Shake for 2 minutes?
2 minutes. I should have had a shaker.
Oh, I think it said handshake. That looks good.
I don't think you need more than one coat.
Might not.
Got plenty good for me. Nice applicator. Very nice applicator.
Even though it's leaking a little air?
Yeah. Perfect. And the same.
We kept it at what, 80 psi, right?
I think so.
It looks good. I like the pebble look.
Right. Yeah, that was a good kit.
Okay guys, that wraps up this video. I just wanted to leave you with a recap of the tips I have. Number one, buy Raptor. I've looked at all the other brands and I think Raptor's the way to go. Number two, have an auto body tech assist you with this process. It will only make the final product look that much better. And number three, if you have an auto body tech help you, you can save a ton of time and skip some steps. Lastly, I wanted to thank my dad for helping making this project a huge success. See ya.